This is Mori of Yasharal, introducing Alyahu, the prophet. Today I will bring you the parallel between then and now. You'll see that the people were all worshiping Baal and keeping his feast days. Look to the right. See the figurine of Baal? Behind this figurine is the true power. Baal, God. He said he's the owner. He placed his name in the land. And this figurine and this blasphemous worship comes from him. Let's begin. 1 Kings, chapter 18, 20 to 22. Before we get started, let me give you a little overview. Ahab was the ruler of the northern kingdom. Ahab married a strange woman. Her name was Yasharal. You would know her as Jezebel. And Yasharal's father's name was Baal. They were Zidonians. Ahab brought this strange woman and this strange religion into the land. He built groves for her, set up Asherah poles. Who is Asherah? The queen of heaven, the consort of Baal. When the father saw this in his land, he sent a prophet. 20. So Ahab sent unto all the children of Yasharal. All of the children of Yasharal were participants in this blasphemous religion, and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel. 21. And Alyahu, the one you call Elisha, came unto all the people and said, How long will you be between two opinions? Let's come down to me. Here's my question. How long will you attach the name that is above all names, YAHUAH, to the feast of Baal? If YAHUAH be the definite article, the Alyahu, the powerful shepherd of men who stretched forth his arm to the Cooyah, follow him. But if it be Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. Did you know when Yahushua HaMashiach was here, he was fighting the same battle? He told the people, you cannot serve two masters. You either hate one or you love the other. You cannot serve both Yah and Mammon. Mammon? Many. Manya. What does that mean? Good fortune. Did you know God, in its definition, means good fortune? La'ah, the one you call Leah, named her son from Zolpah, God. Why? Because she had good fortune. This battle is being waged over and over and over again. This is the final conflict. 22. Then said Alyahu unto the people, I, indeed, I only remain a prophet of YAHUAH. It's a scary prospect when you're alone. But Baal's prophets are 450 men. He was facing down 450 of Baal's prophets. How many am I facing today? Millions. Let me explain. The church all have their feast between March and in April, hovering around an equinox. Who do they serve? Christ. Let me sing a song for you to bring it back to mind. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Christ, the Lord. The Lord means Baal. Christ, Baal. They tell you these things right in front of your face. And because you don't understand what they're doing in their slippery English, you will fail every time when you regurgitate what the Gentiles say. There's 2.4 billion of them, and they all have to hover around an equinox between March and in April. Then you have the Jews. There's millions of them around the world. They all are hovering around an equinox between March and April in the spring. Then in the fall, the autumn months, they are hovering around an equinox between September and October. Who do they serve? Well, they told you exactly who they are. They are God's chosen people. All right, now we have the Israelite brothers, the camps. They all have to have their feasts hovering around an equinox between March and in April. Then in the fall, the autumn months, September and October, hovering around an equinox. Who do they serve? They told you before. Christ, the Lord. Christ is Baal. Then you have the chosen group, the ones who call upon the name that is above all names, YAHUAH. And they call upon his name, his salvation name, Yahusha. They're all doing the same thing. They're hovering around an equinox between March and April in the spring. Then for their 7th month feast, September and October in the fall or in the autumn months, hovering around an equinox, just like the rest of the world. Here's my question for you. How long will you be between two opinions? If Yahuwah be your Alyahu, then follow him. But if Baal be your master, then follow them. 23. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks. He's challenging them the same way as I challenged the whole world. Show me a statute, a scripture. Show me anything. This is how far we've gotten. Anything. And they can't show anything. Then the vague scriptures that they show reveals a very important truth. They can't read, nor do they have reading comprehension, and the people are following them. And let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, cut it in pieces, and lay it on wood. Don't put any fire under it. And I'll dress the other bullock, and I'll lay it on wood, and put no fire under it. 24. And you call in the name of your gods. Look what's under gods. Alyahu, your powerful shepherd of men who stretch forth his arm with an open palm to the Cooyah, and I will call on the name of Yahuwah. I hear that some of us are saying that you're not to call upon this name. The name of Yahuwah is a strong tower. Only the righteous run into it for safety. Those who call upon the name of YAHUAH shall be saved. Listen not to those who teach you not to call upon the name. They are working for the other side. They're batting for the other team. Their master is Baal. And the definite article, the Alyahu, the powerful shepherd of men who stretched forth his arm to the Cooyah that answers by fire, let him be the Alyahu. And all the people answered and says, all right, let's do it. 25. And Alyahu said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you one bullock for yourselves, and dress it first, for you are many, and call on the name of your Alyahu, but put no fire under it. 26. And they took the bullock, which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal, you know, the Lord, from the morning, indeed, until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered. Then they decided, let's give ourselves as a sacrifice. And they leaped upon the altar which was made. 27. And it came to pass at noon, Alyahu heard what they were doing, and he mocked them, and said, I think you need to cry a little louder. Let me show you the parallel between then and now. I mocked them constantly. Where's your scripture? Where's your statute? Where's your command to move to another month? Follow the first new moon after the equinox. Follow a solar calendar. Anything. Could you show me, please? They can't. They get crazy. They start calling you names. For if he is an Alyahu, either he's talking, he's on a conference call, or he's pursuing, he's hunting, or he's in a journey. He's in a journey afar off and could not make it home on time. Or peradventure, he's asleep. I think you need to go and awake him. They got anxious. 28. And they cried aloud, began to cut themselves after their manner with knives and lances, till the blood gushed out upon them. Let me give you a parallel. What the brothers are doing. Instead of joining with me to learn from a real teacher, they go home. They're scrolling through the Sefer. Got paper cuts all over their fingers, blood gushing out. Then their fingers are all swollen from typing in the Google machine. Is there a 13th month found in Scripture? Is there anything to tell me to follow the first new moon after the equinox? Next thing you know, they fall asleep on the table, blood just falling all over the place, trying to find something to counter me. But the book does not work on your behalf. It only works for me. The luminaries do not work on your behalf. They only work for me. Why? Because you do not follow the book. You do not follow the luminaries. Who do you follow? Baal. 29. And it came to pass when midday had gone, and they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, there was no voice, nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. 30. And Alyahu the prophet said unto all the people, Hey, brothers, come on over here. And all the people came near unto him, and he repaired the altar of YAHUAH that was broken down. 31. And Alyahu took 12 stones. 12 stones? There's 12 doors to the sun. There's 12 portals. There's 12 window openings inside of those portals, corresponding to the 12 months of the year. So he took the 12 stones, according to the number of the 12 tribes of the sons of Jacob. Is there 13? Unto whom the word of YAHUAH came. Even the Quran tells you that the word came unto the children of Jacob, saying, Yasharal shall be your name. Not Israel. Your name is Yasharal. You can change. Look how beautiful it is. Look at the prefix. Yasha. Salvation. You see the R on the pictograph is the head of a man. What man would that be? Jacob. See the all at the end? It means strong shepherd. What did he do? He wrestled with the angels, the watchers, the messengers, and won, and said, I will not let you go until you bless me. Here's the blessing. A powerful name. Yasharal. And you're going to turn it down to be called Israel? 32. And with the stones, the 12 stones, he built an altar in the name of YAHUAH. How many times have you seen the name in the text and its title? And then someone comes along and tells you to break the commandments and take his name in vain, to hold it empty, worthless, without use, without merit? Don't do that. Make his name famous. And he made a trench about the altar, as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. 33. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, Yo, brothers, go fill me 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice, and on the wood. The brothers said, Alyahu, there's been no rain here for 3 years. You see, Baal has to follow the places or the seasons in which the rain, the dew, and the heat comes down, in the spring and in the fall. So the Father shut the rains down altogether. So there's no good fortune by following Baal. So the brothers went to the well, and they dipped out the water and filled 4 barrels, and did exactly what Alyahu said. 34. And he said, do it the second time. They said, Alyahu, man, we had to dip all that water out the well. All right, okay. And they did it a second time. Came back, he said, do it a third time. They said, how is the offering going to light? It's drenched in water. Alyahu said, do it a third time. And they did it a third time. 35. And the water ran around about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water. 36. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice. Now we have to stop. When did the priests of Baal offer their sacrifice? In the morning, from the sunrise. When did Alyahu offer his sacrifice? In the evening. You know, when the sun dips below the horizon. What comes out in the evening in the beginning of the month? Hidash. How does a day work on Yahuah's calendar? From evening to evening. So Alyahu was following the lunar calendar. And the priest of Baal We're following a solar calendar. All of these things are right here in the text. If you would stop and go line by line. That Alyahu the prophet came near and said, YAHUAH, Alyahu, the powerful shepherd of men who stretched forth his arm, to Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yasharal. Let it be known this day that you, and only you, are the Alyahu, the only Alyahu in Yasharal, and that I am your servant, and that I have done all these things at your word. I agree. Same here. Everything that I do has been orchestrated in the heavens. You were waiting for Elijah. Alyahu, you were waiting for my brother, but the Gentiles messed up the transliteration. It is Cooyah who would come in the last days to fight this final battle on behalf of he who is seated upon the throne and the remnant who would come forth in the last days and return to YAHUAH. 37. Hear me, O YAHUAH. Hear me, that this people may know that you are YAHUAH, the Alyahu, and that you have turned their heart back again. 38. After he said those words, then the fire of YAHUAH fell, consumed the burnt sacrifice, the wood, the stones, the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. 39. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, YAHUAH, he is the Alyahu. And they repeated it and said, YAHUAH, he is the Alyahu. Did they call on his name? Did they put it in the atmosphere? Did they take it in vain? They did not. Those who call upon the name of YAHUAH shall be saved. 40. And Alyahu said unto them, hurry up, grab them, they're trying to get away. Take the prophets of Baal, let none of them escape. And they took them, and Alyahu brought them down to the brook of Kishon, and slew them there. Soon, their fate in the wilderness will be thrown into the lake of fire. All of those who have taught our people and led them astray, and all of you who have doubled down on your wickedness and served Baal and promoted the feast of Baal, you too shall find your bed in the lake of fire. Proof. Here's an AI overview. In the Bible, the feast of Baal was held in the autumn, when the rain returned and Baal was said to have returned to earth. What feast do you have for Baal's 7th month? In September and October, hovering around the equinox from year to year. You call it tabernacles. It is not. It is the feast of Baal. What is Rosh Hashanah? The Jewish New Year. When is it? In the autumn months, hovering around an equinox. Between September and October. Who do they serve? God. They told you that? Why don't you believe them? Note, the children of Yasharal are following them. They have different methods of getting to the same position, but it's still the most blasphemous worship on this planet. Baal was a weather god who was believed to have control over the seasons. He had no control over the seasons. We know who controls the seasons, the leaders and the heads of the thousands. Not Baal God, not any of the fallen ones. The ones whom Yah chose are over the seasons, those who place the 4 intercalary days. But Baal, or Satan, or God, he knows exactly how it works, so he put his name there. He's a counterfeit. And he says he's the one who's going to bring down the rain, the dew, and the heat. But look what happened. Yah shut the rains down for 3 years. Now where's your glorying? They also says he controls the lightning and the storms and the rainfall. Listen to what YAHUAH had to say. Are there any among the vanities of the Gentiles that can cause rain? Are not you he, O YAHUAH? Therefore I will wait on you. They all of the prophets are fighting the same battle. During the dry summers, Baal was said to be in the underworld. When he returned in the autumn, he was said to cause storms that revived the land and the crops. He's in the underworld. Where is Satan? Going to and fro in the earth. So when you receive your harvest for your 7th month in September and October, hovering around an equinox, you are attributing your harvest to Baal. Baal was often associated with a bull. What happened when the children of Yasharal came out of the land of Egypt? They set up a bull on the platform and began to worship it and say, "This be YAHUAH, that brought us out of the land of Egypt." Blasphemy! We keep doing the same thing, going round and round in circles. And the term Baal was also a title that meant Lord. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Christ, the Lord. Christ is Baal. Baal's consort was Asherah, the queen of heaven, who was also a widely worshipped mother goddess. We warned you at the head of the year, in the spring, that's whose days you were going into. And nobody listened. They doubled down on their wickedness. Well, soon, judgment is upon us. Now, if you want to join with us for Passover, the projected date would be January 14th, according to Yah's time, according to the luminaries, without any interruption, without any participation of any man. It is the path that leads to the years. Shalom.